What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into the episode of My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast, the last episode of the week, guys. This is going to be my 5 wide receiver smash starts, just like the running backs that I posted before in the video, that I believe will give you a 12-point floor with a 20-plus point touchdown upside this week. I'm going to give you the defensive breakdowns, points against, receptions allowed, some injuries that happened, the game script, the over-unders, why I like the high implied point total games here. And we're going to look at some quarterback deficiencies and some play that may actually help you. I don't want to say like help you, but a deep play that I'm going to make a bold call on, I guess I'll go with here. So before we dive into it, guys, make sure you tap that thumbs up, hit that subscription, turn that bell on. Helps me out a ton. Again, I'll be live here in 90 minutes. I'm going to go get some food after this video, and then we're going to be cranking out some drafts, and then we're live all weekend long, guys. All the support's appreciated there. We're going to be doing some drafters, splash drafts as well. If you haven't signed up on drafters.com, shout out to the sponsor. Make sure you use promo code SLEAZE. It will double your initial deposit up to $100. And we always post our pick'ems and everything. We talk fantasy football 24/7 off stream on the Guys FF Discord. That is all that is posted in the comments and in the description of the video pinned at the top. Now, let's dive in to my 5 smash start wide receivers for week 8. So before we dive into smash start wide receiver number 1, which is going to be either A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith. If you guys are new in here, I like to show my actual receipts from last week from my live shows on my smash start shows, so I can be transparent with you where I was wrong, where I was right, and I can be better every single week. So last week we had Caleb Williams. That was a miss. I said I blamed the weather. Just kidding. It was bad weather in that game, but still, there's no excuse. Bo Nix was a hit. Running back side, Quinshon Judkins, Javonte Williams, Jordan Mason, Isaiah Pacheco. I had Jordan Mason for anytime TD lock last week as a prop on the show, and I had Isaiah Pacheco's rushing prop as my lock of the week on the show. Those both hit. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, man, shit the bed in a plus matchup back-to-back. Missed that. Wide receivers, Rashee Rice, Chris Olave hit. Debo Samuel, Mike Evans both, Evans got hurt in the game. Debo got hurt afterwards. Cortland Sutton was a hit. And tight ends, man, I keep just missing on these damn tight ends. Tucker Kraft was a hit, and I missed on Mason Taylor and Harold Fannin. Now, A.J. Brown, this is why this is a two-parter here. So if A.J. Brown misses, so right now he has a hamstring injury, and the update is the Eagles are non-committal right now on the status. I haven't seen a update drop yet, anything new. That was 2 hours ago. So if I see anything pop up here while we're live, I'll throw it in there and on a different player if it comes up to as we're going through the show here. Now, if A.J. Brown is out there, this is going to be an absolutely beautiful matchup across the board against the New York Giants. Now, they're good up front with the front seven, right? But they last time they played, Dallas Goedert crushed them at the tight end position. I think they're going to switch that up. They're going to be tackling to stop Dallas Goedert in this game. And guys, the New York Giants secondary is absolutely terrible versus the wide receiver. They are third worst in the NFL, giving up 40 points per game just to the wide receiver position. That is bonkers. And guys, they've given up 101 receptions. That's the second most receptions to wide receivers. 1,267 yards. That is dead last in the NFL. And 6 passing touchdowns they've allowed. Now, if A.J. Brown is not out there, who's just coming off his 2-touchdown game where he had a 28-point outing, we're going to literally shift it to Devonta Smith, who also in that game had 11 targets and 33 points. Like Jalen Hurts just decided to let it fly against the Minnesota Vikings last week. And I know you got the kind of Saquon Barkley revenge game narrative with the New York Giants, but Saquon Barkley hasn't been the Saquon Barkley. I don't know what is going on there. So this is a situation of either or. So if A.J. Brown is out there healthy, I'm going with A.J. Brown. If A.J. Brown is not out there, I'm going with Devonta Smith. One of these guys, either way, is going to smash against this New York Giant awful secondary. Wide receiver smash start number 2 is going to be Rome Odunze. And most people right now that have Rome Odunze are kind of mad with back-to-back 5-point games, but do not fret. The bounce-back game is here. So we're going to look at his stats first. 46 targets, 24 receptions, 359 yards, 5 touchdowns. He got off to a very hot start. He had 5 touchdowns in 4 games and blanketed twice. Target share 24.9, number 14. That's almost wide receiver 1 elite usage. Snap share 92.5. That's what you want. Route participation 93. All wide receiver 1. We know he's the wide receiver 1 in Chicago. Red zone targets 5. You'd like to see that number come up. Deep targets 5. That's not bad for his size. Number 34. 89.9. Wide receiver 21. Again, he's fallen off in the past 2 weeks. Now, When you look at last week, and I had Caleb Williams as a smash play last week, and I showed you the X, the miss. Dude, it was rain, sleet, terrible weather. We didn't even have that update throughout the week. We had the update of the Baltimore Ravens-Rams game was going to be the worst weather game, and that was clear skies. So, like, I guess I'm going to be like, when I post these, maybe I'll come back in and, like, comment at the top if the weather has changed or something like that, because it really does affect the calls and how it goes. But an L is an L, got to take it. So now, Rome Odunze in this game, you're going to get the Baltimore Ravens, which looks like right now clear skies, okay? And you get the Baltimore Ravens, they rank 28th versus the wide receiver. Yes, they're coming off a bye. Yes, they could be a little healthier. And if Lamar Jackson's out there, we might even have a shootout game on our hands. I haven't seen the Lamar Jackson update yet, but I think he's going to play, in my opinion, at 1-5, practicing limited twice. So they rank 28th, giving up 39 points per game, 78 receptions, 892 yards, and they've had a bye. So remember that as well. So, you know, when you're looking at, when I'm giving you other numbers, obviously their numbers are higher because they haven't had their bye week. And they've given up 10 touchdowns, guys. That's third worst in the NFL off a bye week. So they would probably have 12 to 13 being worst in the NFL with a touchdown. You know, Rome Odunze had that one called back on him that cost him another touchdown. I think he's going to score in this game. I think he's going to give you a floor of 12-plus points with 20-point upside. And I love Rome Odunze in this matchup this week. And there's a reason I have Caleb Williams as my smash start quarterback as well. Number 3, smash start. Probably the last time he's going to be on this list, Rashee Rice. And I don't know how many videos we went through, guys, of buy low, buy low, buy low, league winner, Rashee Rice. He comes in for one game, guys, and they blew them out of the water 31-0. He was benched, I believe, like the 6-minute mark into the third quarter, like 6:30, in between 7 minutes, around there, into the third quarter. These were his numbers pretty much in one half, okay? Look at these. 10 receptions or 10 targets, that's your alpha. Receptions 7, 42 yards, 2 touchdowns. Target share, number 1 in the NFL already with almost a 30% target share. Snap share, 44.9. Again, only played half the game. Route participation, 50%. Again, only played half the game. 4 red zone targets in one game. Oh, my God. The Rashee Rice show is here, man. Deep targets, 0. 23.2 points. Wide receiver, 104. Obviously, did all of that in 41% snap share, right? Not great, okay? But they blew him out. Now you're going to get the Washington Commanders. And before we even dive into the Washington Commanders' full defense, they are the number 1 worst team versus the slot, which is where Rashee Rice is even slant. They're lining up 70% of the time here. So the Washington Commanders, they give up 34.2, ranking 23rd. They've given up 126 receptions, which is bottom 10, 1,130 yards, which is bottom 10 as well. 7 touchdowns, that's a touchdown a game. When you have Patrick Mahomes and this offense for the rest of the season, it shouldn't even be a question. Rashee Rice must start wide receiver every single week. This offense is going to be unstoppable. Patrick Mahomes' revenge MVP tour is on. And I honestly don't know if the Chiefs lose again, man. They look absolutely incredible. Absolutely smash them into your lineup. Number 4 is going to be Courtland Sutton. We are going to target the high implied point total of the Dallas Cowboys at the Denver Broncos, which is 50.5. And I believe it's even going to go up before kickoff at this point. So Courtland Sutton is always like that never sexy guy, but just gets the job done. So currently wide receiver 14 with 99.9 points. He's had, one 20-point game on the season, but he's been right around 15, 16, 17, 18 every time. So, you know what I mean? He's not like that guy that's going to give you 40 points over the top, but he's just always a safe start. So he's got 50 targets on the season, 33 receptions, 469 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns, and then, 20.8 target share. Look at Rashee Rice in one game. He had 30. So, he's never really that, alpha wide receiver 1 is what I'm trying to, get across, but he's always a great start. An 88.6% snap share, not really alpha wide receiver 1 usage. Route participation, 92.4. Red zone target 6, not bad there. Deep target 7, that's good for his old age at age 30, man. So at least he's getting out there and getting deep for Bo Nix. Now, the Dallas Cowboys. Do we even need to talk about this? How many times do we have to go over this show by show by show? This defense is just dog shit. All the way across the board. Running back, tight end, wide receiver, quarterback, everything. That's why their offense is scoring. They're like the Bengals of last year, man. You got to score so many points to keep up because our defense can't stop anybody. So the Dallas Cowboys guys give up 40 points per game to the wide receiver, or 40.07. So the Giants were at 39.8. When I said 39.8 for the Giants, they're 0.2 higher, right? They gave up 84 receptions, so not a lot of volume. Like you look at the higher teams, they're giving up 100 plus, but they've given up 12 touchdowns to the wide receiver in receptions or in receiving touchdowns. That is dead last in the NFL. 10 is behind them at the Baltimore Ravens, and they had a bye. Remember, we talked about that. Cortland Sutton is going to score in this game. You're looking at a shootout game. You're looking at a Dallas Cowboy defense that can't stop anybody. They get no pressure. It's gotten a little better, I'll say. Bo Nix just has to put a game together here where he doesn't do it all in the fourth quarter like the past 2 weeks. They put a full game together, and we have a shootout game on our hands like I think is going to happen in this game. Even with the Denver defense being good, I still think the Dallas Cowboys offense is going to make it a shootout game. Cortland Sutton is easily going to give you 12-plus points with 20-point upside this week. Number 5, and I told you I was going to give you a bold one here, and it is going to be Matthew Golden. And I know he hasn't popped yet, but this is the week I'm calling the big breakout Matthew Golden game. And yes, Christian Watson will be back in this game as well, which is going to help with the too high scheme that the Steelers are running, which is why Jalen Ramsey is going to get absolutely cooked on one play for a deep bomb to Matthew Golden. And I like him for a splash this week. But let's dive into why I like it here. So 23 targets, 18 receptions, 249 yards, no touchdowns yet. Threw in the rush yards as well because he has 8 attempts for 45 yards. I usually don't throw that in with wide receivers, but he gets a lot of work in the run game. Target share 14%. You like to see that come up. Snap share 63.4. Probably going to stay there all year long, or maybe even get worse when Jaden Reed comes back. We don't know how that's going to play out yet. Route participation 73.1. Red zone targets 2. Not great there. Deep targets. This is where it is. 6 deep targets for him. He needs more. This man is the number 1 separation route in the NFL. Give this guy some deep balls. 47.4 points, wide receiver 59. Now, remember we talked about Ramsey and how much he's been getting cooked. Well, let's talk about the Steelers versus the wide receiver. They ranked 27th, giving up 39 points per game, 1,108 yards. But here's the kicker, 140 receptions. That is third worst in the NFL. 5 touchdowns they give up, so they're better in the red zone there. But if you watch what happened with Jamar Chase, with Joe Flacco, this is going to be where they scheme up. LaFleur hits the deep bomb to Matthew Golden for a touchdown in this game. It is not sexy by any means. It's not like I can't give you that it's, he's been consistent. He's been more boomer bust with kind of a smaller floor, I guess you'd say. At least he has a floor compared to like Jameson Williams, who doesn't. So this is the game. This is my last player. This is my bold smash call of the week. That Matthew Golden is going to find the end zone and give you 12-plus points with a 20-point-plus upside. And I'm going to call out a 65-yard touchdown bomb where he cooks Jalen Ramsey. And I can't wait to come back to this video after it's over and look at it. And if I'm wrong, I'll own it. Thanks for rocking with me this week, guys. That is the end of the episode. That is the end of the episodes on the week. I got live shows the rest of the weekend. So, again, I'll be live here in about 90 minutes here, or at 4 p.m. Eastern, so 1 p.m. my time in Cali here. We'll be doing a bunch of drafts, DFS looks. We'll talk about pick'ems. We'll talk week 8. If you guys have questions, hop on in. If you don't, you can always drop your questions down below. I try to answer every single one of them in the comments. If you haven't already, on your way out, help your boy out, tap that thumbs up button, hit that subscription, turn that bell on. You guys have been absolute goats, one of the best community. I can't believe how many of you guys came out for the Thursday night show. That just warms my heart, man. I put my heart and soul into this for you guys, and it's great to see all you guys show up and show support and all the super chats and all this, everything, subs, everything was absolutely bonkers. Can't thank you guys enough. Now, if you guys, again, it'll be pinned in the comments in the description of the video. Drafters.com, the sponsor, and the guys FF. Both those links will be in there if you want to check them out. That is it for me this week, guys. Let's get the dubs. I'll catch you guys in all the live streams, and I'll try and catch up on all the comments here. We got a couple Halloween things to do tonight, but I'll try and get it all for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the content on the week. I hope you guys enjoy all the live shows. I hope you guys get all the dubs. Let's go. I'll see you guys in the live shows. Sleazebum out.